Hello again, it's Anne, and I'm joined by Drew Clark with Broadband Illinois. We also have Aaron Facemeyer, who is leading and doing the technical side of the webinar. If everyone can hear me, could you please show that by raising your hand, which is an option on the computer, please? Thank you. I see a lot of hands going up. Again, we are still having people dial in. We are expecting about 100 people, so we will wait another 30 to 60 seconds and start immediately after that. Thanks. Hi, everyone. I would like to welcome you to the Broadband Innovation Fund announcement webinar. And we thank you for the overwhelming response we had to the number of people that have joined this webinar. I know it was just sent out yesterday. I'm going to have Drew Clark lead the webinar and make a few opening remarks. And then we have approximately 20 slides that we will go through here at PCI. And we do have all lines muted. Same process that we had on the webinar. If there are any questions, please feel free to type those in. And we do have as much time as everyone needs set aside for some question and answers. We have had one question already, and that is if the winning and funded programs are going to be available on the Broadband Illinois website. And as of about 2 minutes ago, those are live. And later this afternoon, we will have a list of all of the applicants' names and organizations throughout all of Illinois. But those that have been funded are now also live on our website. And I'm going to go ahead and now turn it over to Drew.
Thank you very much, Anne. This is Drew Clark, and I'm Executive Director of Partnership for Connected Illinois. I'm very happy to be able to reach this point and have this webinar. It's been a very fast 6 weeks since we began this process, and very pleased with the incredible outpouring of interest in the Broadband Innovation Fund within the state, demonstrating a really strong demand and enthusiasm for proposals and projects and activities that will help advance broadband usage and adoption throughout the state. As I've said when we were at the Broadband Innovation Fund from time to time, one of the great things about this activity for our organization is that it elucidates and builds upon our vision of better broadband, better lives throughout the state. We've been collecting data and information and mapping broadband for 2.5 years now, and very pleased that we've got a great routine down on that, and express thanks to the broadband providers that provide information. That serves as a baseline, as an information set that allows us to take action in getting better broadband and better lives throughout the state. Our E-teams have worked closely with providers and economic development officials throughout the state to help facilitate broadband investments. We've obviously worked closely with a number of projects and activities, and at other times we'll talk more about that. But today the showcase is squarely on broadband usage and adoption, and the program that is led so well by Ann Madonia here at the Partnership for Connected Illinois. So without further ado, I'll turn it over to her to lead the slides and the program here. She'll turn back to me for a limited time in the webinar before we open it up for question and answers. And we really do have as much time as you need. So we've allocated the full 2 hours so that we can get to every question that is out there to be asked about the process and the results and the next steps for both those who were awarded and those who we hope to continue to work with on your activities, but who are not funded at this time. So with that, let me turn it over to you, Ann.
Thank you, Drew. Before I start to go through the slides, I would also just like to extend a personal thank you. This has been such an amazing experience for our team at Broadband Illinois, and as we've been traveling throughout the state. And there are so many people that were involved with this, that made this happen and come together so quickly. And just a special thank you to each and every one. I know that a lot of people received an email on Friday about their application not being funded. I am personally going to make a goal for myself to reach out to everyone and have a live conversation. I know emails are not always the appropriate way of communicating, and this is very important to you, and it's also very important to us. And so I hope to get in touch with each and all the applicants and have a conversation. And then the same with those that have been funded. This is definitely being rolled out today. These awards and the funded programs will be a surprise to many of the PCI staff and some of our E-team coordinators, as well as obviously those that have been chosen that knew that they were a finalist, but now we will be releasing the names and the total numbers. So just to recap what we have been talking about on the RFP, on the webinars, as well as the stakeholder meetings, is the Illinois Broadband Innovation Fund was a grant that was given to us, PCI, by the Small Business Administration. They allocated funds to PCI for the development and implementation of a plan in collaboration with the Illinois DCEO to increase computer and adoption usage across Illinois. Of these funds, PCI was investing up to $500,000, and as of the deadline on September 18th, we had received 113 proposals statewide. So the Illinois Broadband Innovation by the numbers. This is a quote actually that Drew supplied to Roxana, who is our communications director, and that was placed in a press release on the Broadband Illinois website. The breadth of topics and geographic diversity of applicants demonstrates the strong interest in the efforts to use better broadband for better lives. Again, on September 18th, by the deadline of the end of business day, PCI had received 113 proposals. The total requested amount from the Broadband Innovation Fund was $7,359,864.39. So needless to say, that definitely began our feeling of excitement and overwhelm. And again, that enthusiasm and passion in these ideas was just absolutely outstanding. And the total project costs, which meant the in-kind, the cash on hand, et cetera, of all the applications, was $26,634,380.83. So drum roll, bum, 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 bum. PCI has selected 14 programs throughout all of Illinois for funding. These funds and awards are ranging from $10,000 to $50,000. PCI did put the full $500,000 investment in, and the total project cost for these 14 programs selected is $2,092,053.66. Now, the first award, I am actually doing these alphabetical, and there is more information on our website that will include what the amount was, some of the contact information, emails, telephone numbers, etc. The first one goes to Carlinville School District, and just a high-level one-sentence summary. Students in Carlinville School District will preserve and digitally produce the stories of local veterans. Personal interviews will capture the experience of veterans and students, and it will use digital technology to preserve stories. And this is going to be done in cooperation with the U.S. Library of Congress, Veterans History Project in the Illinois State Library, and this will be available to educators, communities, and students. So congratulations, Carlinville High School. And the bucket, as I have been referring to this as in terms of the broadband platform, is a focus on veterans and education, and Carlinville is in the Central E-Team region. The second program that is being funded is out of the West Central E-Team region with a broadband platform on arts and education. Congratulations to the City of Monmouth. And the City of Monmouth will design, develop, and deploy a virtual museum web application that will allow local students to create and curate online exhibits and provide opportunities for county residents to utilize broadband to explore and interact with the living history of their region. The third one, representing the Southern E-Team region and a broadband platform with a focus on economic development, is the Dot World Group. And the Dot World Group will provide opportunities for small, community-oriented businesses to expand the successful Southern Illinois-based Escape Locally economic development program to a statewide audience. And they are going to make the next steps and expand this to the Northeast Central and Central Illinois area. So congratulations, World. The next application and program that is going to be funded is from the Southeastern E-Team region with a broadband platform of economic development and healthcare. This is going to the Eastern Illinois University Business Solutions. The Solutions Center will create the Prairie Spark eHub, which is a digital resource center filled with essential information and tools for entrepreneurs, students, youth mentors to quote unquote grow our own business and jobs. The eHub will be accessible 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, expanding the number of youth and entrepreneurs served. So congratulations to the Eastern Illinois University Business Solutions. And I think this is our first Chicagoland one that is being funded, and this is with a healthcare platform representing the Chicagoland E-Team region. Family Christian Health Center, congratulations. And their program is a focus that says, Family Christian Health Center will improve care coordination for the medically underserved residing in South Suburban Cook County by creating and maintaining a broadband-enabled web portal that connects patients and the community at large to online database of community resources. The next funded project, again, representing the Chicagoland E-Team region and area, is a broadband platform of education, agriculture or conservation, and low income. It's called Fishin' Buddies. Fish-In Buddies will leverage high-speed internet access to enhance the use of outdoor public facilities. 3 key components include a web application that will catalog all of the native and invasive plant and animal species found in the local Cook County Forest Preserve, a mobile research center, and training for area small business owners. Congratulations to Fish-In Buddies. The next program being funded is with a broadband platform of healthcare and telemedicine in the East Central E-Team region. And the vision at Integrated Therapy Services is to utilize broadband to connect families with special needs in rural agriculture, southeastern Illinois, with a variety of resources that are available statewide and nationally in order to improve the development, daily functioning, quality of life, and community involvement of children and families with special needs. Congratulations, Integrated Therapy Services. Lakeland College is the next program to be funded, and this is a broadband platform focusing on seniors and libraries, and this is in the East Central E-Team region. This project proposes to expand upon the Connecting Generations project piloted at the Helen Mathis Library in Effingham, Illinois, a collaborative partnership involving the library, Effingham County Senior Center, University of Illinois Extension Office, East Central Illinois Development Corporation, and 4 area local high schools. Again, congratulations, Lakeland College. The MCHC, or the Metropolitan Chicago Healthcare Council, is representing the Chicagoland area as well as some rural hospitals. The platform bucket is healthcare, and MCHC has a pilot project that will enable psychiatrists at the University of Illinois Hospital and Health Sciences System and other psychiatrists to provide 24-hour, 7-day-a-week telepsychiatry services to rural hospitals throughout the state of Illinois. Congratulations. The next one is with a broadband platform of entrepreneurship and education, representing the Southeastern E-Team region. Congratulations to Midland Institute for Entrepreneurship. The CEO class prepares high school students in rural Illinois to become self-reliant, enterprising individuals with the skills to start businesses and contribute to the economic development of their communities. Students will focus on creative uses of technology and broadband access. Congratulations goes to Mtc Communications with a broadband focus on energy and agriculture out of the West Central E-Team region. MTC has proposed to connect the Western Illinois University agriculture facilities with high-speed fiber as part of its Illinois Gigabit Communities Challenge grant proposal. In addition to the WIU agriculture facilities, MTC is also proposing to connect the recently funded WIU wind turbine project to the same fiber. 6 Mile Library has a broadband platform of e-government, education, and economic development located in the Southwest Central E-Team region. Congratulations, 6 Mile Library, with a program that will allow a library district mobile computer training opportunities. They envision hosting classes in local schools, park districts, and township locations throughout their service area. Class participants will learn about specific online resources relating to e-government, healthcare, and job seeking. Congratulations to the Chicagoland E-Team region with a broadband platform of education and low income. And this program is being awarded to the House Development Corporation 21st Century Youth Project. The House Development Corporation 21st Century Youth Project will launch a web-based platform to enable underserved students to access cutting-edge technical resources and relevant training youth. The program is designed in conjunction with college standards, enabling students to accrue college credits. Again, congratulations. Tri-County, with a broadband platform of economic development in the North Central E-Team region. The Commission is currently facilitating a transformative economic development planning process that encompasses Peoria, Tazewell, Woodford, and Mason counties. Vision for using broadband in this project is to establish a regional broadband adoption effort that will include the development of broadband connectivity strategy for the entire region. Congratulations to Tri-County. That is the 14 programs that are funded. I'm going to turn this back over to Drew, and he will discuss the evaluation process.
Thank you so much, Ann. This being the announcement of the winners, we're obviously bringing them forward here so that they can know, and all of us in Illinois who put these applications together can be aware of them. As Ann discussed earlier, contact information for the 14 will be available later on, and we also will be posting contact information for all 113, because we've viewed this process as, and seen as a result of this process, again, a huge outpouring of interest. And I was really heartened by Ann's statement that she intends as a goal to speak with every one of you 113 who applied to discuss ways that we can work with you, even if at this time we were not able to fund your project because of limited funds. I'm going to speak briefly about the evaluation process. As noted, we've received 113 applications by the deadline of September 18th. There was a 6-member independent review committee with people both employed and not employed by Partnership for Connected Illinois. The review process ran from September 19th through October 1st, yesterday, and announcements, of course, are being made today, October 2nd. The evaluation criteria has been part of our open and transparent process where evaluators use the criteria listed on the evaluation and selection process portion of the RFP. Those were digested into 4 equally weighted categories. Number 1, economic development on a broadband platform. Number 2, innovation. Number 3, experience and track record. And number 4, cost benefit. And those all factored into the evaluation process. Those who may seek to contest an award must submit their contest in writing by email to the Partnership for Connected Illinois at contest@broadbandillinois.org by Friday, October 12th at 5 p.m. Central Time. Organizations should state their issue of concern with the RFP process or its result. PCI will reply in writing to contest by Monday, October 22nd at 5 p.m. Central Time, and will respond only to the issues identified in the contest. With that, I'll turn it back over to Ann.
Thank you, Drew. And to the 14 programs that were chosen for funding, I will be getting in touch with each of you tomorrow with what will be the next steps. So please expect a phone call from me starting tomorrow morning. That will be followed up by an email, and you will also receive information in the hard copy mail as well. And that's essentially going to include, of course, the congratulatory letter, some of the disclosure forms, and a contract, and then some of the next steps in terms of communication and meeting with the Broadband Illinois staff. So congratulations once again to all, and I think we are all giving a collective round of applause, both online and off. The next part, I am actually going to invite our E-Team members that you see listed on here, and that is Brad Housewright, who is the E-Team director, Ernie Sanders in Chicagoland and northern regions, Steve Mitchell in the southern portion of the state, Barb Wester, who has Southeast Central, Southwest Central, Northeast Central, and Clayton Black with West Central, North Central, and North Central E-teams. Northwest, I'm sorry. And what you're seeing on the map here is this is representing from the E-team regions and portions of the state how many applications Broadband Illinois received for the Broadband Innovation Fund. Again, I think everyone could agree this is a very good representation from everyone throughout the state. This truly was a statewide effort, and for that I thank you. I believe everyone on the E-team is going to be unmuted if they are not already. So in about 5 seconds, I'm going to ask Brad Housewright to speak first.
Thank you very much, Ann. I certainly appreciate the introduction and the introduction for the E-team for Broadband Illinois Partnership for Connected Illinois. I just want everyone to know, especially the awardees, how excited that we are that we've been able to facilitate this type of an innovative program with services on a broadband platform. We hope that this is the first of many more to come. You folks have proven that there are a lot of opportunity, a lot of innovation, and the real need for programs like this to be able to assist companies who are looking to further their services or further opportunities on a broadband platform. We as the E-team, myself and all the E-team coordinators, are very eager for everyone to reach out to us so we can begin to work with you individually to convene, collaborate, help to find additional resources, whether that be funding, consulting, or other resources to help to fill that gap to make your program successful. I know that each and every one of us will have different applications that we work with, but we will all work as a team, whether it's in Chicago or whether it's in Cairo. We very much look forward to that. We can help with a lot of additional services, that outreach that we have with our database, as well as the network providers that we work with. So we're just very excited to begin down this path with you. Again, congratulations to all the awardees, and thank you so much for all the applicants who did apply, and we look forward to serving and working with all of you. Thank you. Any other questions or any other E-team member that would like to speak, please do so.
If any of the E-team coordinators would like to add anything, please raise your hand and we can unmute you. Okay, thanks. I really think Brad has summed up what they have been talking about as the E-team, as they have talked daily about this throughout the last couple of weeks. To piggyback a little bit with what Brad was saying, is my job as the program manager is definitely with the hopes of just having this as a round one. And I am going to be reviewing the applications again and maybe putting them in stacks. And if that is a healthcare stack, if it is approaching an Abbott or a Baxter or an SIU School of Medicine, a Carle Clinic, Northwestern, Rush, take your pick of what I think all of the large healthcare institutions can offer, and see if we can use the stack of applications that have such great innovative ideas and see if they want to be involved in supporting or sponsoring a next go ahead of those. I will actually call out any providers that are on the call right now. We saw a lot of applications that had partnerships with both large and small providers throughout the state. I might be knocking on your door to see if you would like to have some ownership and involvement in helping to sponsor some portions of a lot of these great applications. So again, we have not just been talking, we have definitely been overwhelmed with the 113 applications. We are also a small organization and there's not tons of us throughout the state, but we are committed to not letting this drop just because the due date and end date has passed on the application process. And we really do look forward to reaching out, getting more of these funded, partnered, etc. With any questions, we hope to have most of this available on our website, which is broadbandillinois.org/innovation at about, I don't want to give an exact time, but by the end of business today, we will have a link of all 113, maybe tomorrow morning, my apologies, a list of all the 113 organizations throughout the state that did apply. And before we move into the question and answers, we would just, once again, everyone at Broadband Illinois wants to sincerely thank all of the participants for your passion, enthusiasm, and ideas. I am now going to open this up to questions. And if there are any, please type them in. And we will do our best to review and answer as quickly as we can while we still have people on the phone. Well, believe it or not, actually right now we don't have any. I am going to, now they're starting to come in. Okay, the first one. When will the specific funding amounts be announced? They are actually kind of a surprise to some of the people. That will be available this afternoon. And then also that is on the website. And then of course, when you're having the one-on-one conversations with me and discussing next steps, we will go through that as well. On 1 second, so I'm just reading these before I read them out loud so I don't miss any keywords. Thank you. I think someone is just confirming that there definitely does need to be a stack for those that are directly addressed in a certain broadband platform, and with some larger organizations and people that could partner be approached and see what next steps. So thank you for confirming that thought. Who was awarded in the northern region? As we have had the past few days, last week and early this week, we had a list of proposals and applicants that we had selected for funding. We did have some follow-up questions to one of them. One of the highly scored programs and evaluations was submitted by the Northern Region, and it was an absolutely a phenomenal and innovative idea. Unfortunately, they were not able to confirm that the timeline could be done within 8 months. Their application and program was requiring some signatures and approvals that may have had to go all the way up to the Illinois Supreme Court. So after discussions with the PCI team, as well as with this organization in the northern region, they decided it was not the best timing. And so unfortunately, that was one of the 14 that had scored high in the evaluation. We did not have anything pre-selected in terms of what portions of the state were going to have programs that were funded. This was just based off of the scoring system, and there was no preference given to any city, community, region, etc. Drew, anything? Okay. I'm going to move on to the next question. Do you anticipate a second round of funding a year from now? I honestly wish I knew the answer to that. A lot of what I have is a sales background, so I guess I get to put a lot of my selling skills to use and really approach healthcare organizations, larger education entities, anchor institutions, providers, etc. Hopefully, we will have another opportunity with the Small Business Administration. We will be in communication with DCO, with the Small Business Administration, to definitely see if a second fund is available and when. I think the 113 applications is a pretty darn heavy example of just what the need and the desire is for increased broadband use throughout Illinois. So we will keep you in the loop every step of the way. The next question is, will we be able to read the winning grant applications? I'm going to let Drew take that one.
Yes, so when we put forth our RFP, we did indicate that we would protect confidentiality of any applicant information. However, we did say that we would make publicly available a list of each entity that applied for a grant, a description of their application, and the funding received. So we will be publishing the names, contact information, funding amounts, and general program descriptions for each of the winning entity. I think this question raises another good point, which is, should we post the entirety of the applications? And after discussing and reviewing this with the awardees, we'll come back to you on this point. But I think we have committed and will remain committed to making sure all of the applicants, those who were funded this time and those who were not, are published on the website and available. We are also contemplating webinars with the awardees. This is news, so we haven't had a chance to flesh this out, but our hope would be that we can do 3 webinars over the coming month where we have a chance for each of the awardees to spell out in greater detail the efforts that they are undertaking. And we will be monitoring and getting monthly reports from awardees. So we have the means here at Broadband Illinois to publish information about the progress of these projects as well.
The next question is the funding amounts on the website now. Or are you putting those out there later this afternoon? A little bit later this afternoon when the webinar is done. Right now it does just have the list, and then we are adding the funding amounts shortly.
I would just add the average award, obviously 500,000 divided by 14 was 38,000 and some additional dollars. So that's kind of where they averaged out, but it was between 10 and 50,000 for the 14 awards.
The next question is a specific question for the E-team. And Brad, I am going to unmute you. I will say the question out loud. And then perhaps you and Ernie might want to answer this one to the best information that you have right now. And that is, how can you help us collaborate on the Chicago Broadband Challenge? Brad, you are unmuted.
Okay, thanks. That's a great question, and it just so happens that Ernie and I are working on an agenda now, and we'll be reaching to not only the Broadband Innovation folks, but several other who are involved in broadband capacities, such as providers and EDD. We're very, very eager to collaborate with all those folks that have been working on efforts that come out of a Broadband Chicago initiative. So please stay tuned, because you will be contacted as to some next steps towards those efforts. And we look forward to talking with you on that.
Ernie, you are also unmuted if there was anything you wanted to add.
I do not. Brad answered it.
Okay, great, thanks. Okay, the next question. What will the effective start and end dates be for the funding?
So this is Drew Clark. The effective start dates will be tomorrow, October 3rd, when we get the contracts to the 14 entities and get those back. We are working, as we've discussed, through the Broadband Innovation Tour on an 8-month program. We will be collecting monthly reports from the awardees, and we will work with the 14 awardees to ensure that they are making progress towards the measurable outcomes they identified in their program. So we're looking at the next 8 months for starting and ending this program.
The next question. What was the cause for the extension of the application deadline? A lack of applications. No, I mean, there was absolutely no lack of applications. We had a tremendous amount, but I think I did a quick chat that we put on video that as I personally was fielding questions and at the stakeholders meetings, if there was one cause of concern or a challenge that was going to prohibit anyone from applying, it was really just the timeline. And we talked to the evaluation team. We talked as a team with PCI, and we decided that we could still execute on a shortened 1-week timeline and still have all the funds projected and available by the October 1 deadline. And so we wanted to do what we thought was going to be best for all of the organizations that maybe had not really decided to do this just based solely on the timeline. The next question, will non-recipients receive written feedback?
Well, sure. I'll take a first stab at this. For those who have a desire for feedback, you're certainly welcome to be in touch with Ann Madoni, our program manager. If you have a sort of a desire for a formal contest, we've identified that procedure, and you're welcome to follow that. But we do want you to be aware that there were 113 applicants, and so we did the best we could to make sure that we gave all the time and attention. Several reviewers reviewed each of these applications, so we can do our best to give the feedback that came from that through those interactions that we are going to be having with all of you through the course of time. But again, we have identified a process for specific written formal requests for information.
And I know it would be very easy to say we're not trying to provide non-answers. There were truly such amazing and outstanding applications and program ideas set forth. As we were creating the examples that we had on the RFP, each and every one of the 113 applications kind of put our ideas to shame. So it really did come down to, with the large amount of applications and the breakdown as it was with the 4 scoring criteria of experience, budget, timeline, innovation, using the broadband platform, what may have scored high in one of the buckets maybe scored even a point or two lower in the other buckets. And unfortunately, that was a difference of those being funded and those that were not. There were so many applications that were really within a total of 1 or 2 points from each other. So I cannot emphasize enough just how amazing and innovative all of these projects were. And it really did come down to a point or two difference. I can't say that there were any losers in this application. Unfortunately, just not those that were chosen for funding at this time. The next question, I think it's actually just a statement, and thank you very, very much. It says PCI has set a new bar for turnaround time. Let's keep this speed going in the future. So we thank you, and it was definitely just a commitment and some weekend time and some extra hours put in by all, but it was well worth it. And we hope that we have been able to provide answers to you guys in a quick turnaround time. You're the ones who did all the hard work and time and the effort to put these programs in place. And we definitely thought we owed that to you to stay on our timeline. So thank you. The next question. When will the bids from computer vendors be decided on? I actually think you might be talking about our Lifeline pilot.
This is the separate initiative, the Better Broadband, Better Lifeline pilot program that the Partnership for Connected Illinois has submitted on behalf of 7 eligible telecommunications providers in the state. We are extremely hopeful that the FCC will make our proposal on behalf of many independent Illinois telecommunications providers a winner, but we don't know that for sure. but that is a part of that process. It's completely separate from the Broadband Innovation Fund that we're announcing today.
But to answer that, until we receive official award of our funding status, and if we were given the grant from the FCC, we have not started to review those that put in the bid, but we thank you, and as soon as we know, we will be looking at that and getting back in touch with you. The next question is, I hope the winners actually send their tweets and create a wave of attention. And I think that is already in the works by Aaron and Roxana on our team. Another follow-up that the funded programs are going to provide, sorry to the 14, I'm kind of throwing this out there now instead of tomorrow, but we are asking for a 3 or 4 sentence or 1 paragraph, I'm sorry, of what your program is really looking to achieve, and also how you really think this can make an impact through Illinois. Is I was stating 1 paragraph, Aaron was giving me a shorter sign, so I guess it will actually be 3 or 4 sentences. So we will have that available online as well as the tweets. I know the tweets presented some challenges, and I would have struggled with that myself, but we are definitely going to have those out, so thank you for bringing that up. Oh, sorry. Next question. Can you give us some information on the reviewers, not the names, but perhaps background, how many reviewers, experience, etc.? Drew.
Sure. We had 6 reviewers evaluating the 113 applications. We had officials involved with a range of professions and activities. We had individuals who are business executives. We had individuals who have been involved in state government and in agencies, as well as individuals who are closely involved in broadband, and making sure that broadband is deployed effectively throughout the state. I think that what we're able to come about as a result of this process was, the wisdom of each person individually, but equally important was the wisdom of the crowd and coming together, and the sessions that the review committee had together. So thank you for your question and interest.
Next question, were there any private businesses funded? Yes, there was, and let me just look through. I don't have the applications in front of me, I just have the list, but we have Dot World Group in Southern Illinois that I believe is a private for-profit business. 6 Mile Library? No, sorry. Mtc Communications. I will just name the 14 again, and I apologize, we will have that information out, but we have Carlinville, City of Monmouth, Dot World Group, Eastern Illinois University Business Solutions, Family Christian Health Center, Fishin' Buddies, Integrated Therapy Services, I don't believe that they're a nonprofit actually, Lakeland College, Metropolitan Chicago Healthcare Council, Chicago Hospital Council, Midland Institute for Entrepreneurship, Mtc Communications, 6 Mile Library, the House Development Corporation 21st Century Youth Project, and Tri-County. Tri-County Regional Planning Commission, yes. The next question, has PCI started to think about how they can keep webinars and other engagement tools in use during non-RFP periods? We have started to think about that. We would actually really appreciate any feedback that you guys have. We don't, of course, want to inundate you. We want to keep everyone in the loop. We would like to keep it fresh and everyone engaged. So we welcome and encourage any feedback and thoughts as to what you statewide would like to see and what some of the ideas are in terms of programs, next steps, etc. So thank you.
Let me just add on to that. And again, a great question. 2 points. The first is that we do, after consulting with those who are awarded funds tomorrow, want to schedule a series of webinars, hopefully 3 webinars, where we have a chance to have them speak for themselves about their proposal and everyone invited to participate. But I think equally important is getting the Broadband Innovation Fund winners and applicants together with others, such as those who applied for the Illinois Gigabit Communities Challenge, as well as those who have won or applied for Eliminate the Digital Divide grants from the Department of Commerce and Economic Opportunity. There's an incredible opportunity for synergy here, and I think the first step in this process is going to take place in Chicago, in part because of the RFI that's been announced by the city and the work that Brad and Ernie addressed earlier on this call for facilitating some kind of a collaborative approach to the city's RFI. So we want to keep doing this and certainly welcome your feedback on ways to improve.
How many funded projects had leverage funding involved? All of them. And as we were talking about, just with the amount of applications and how each of the buckets may have come down between that 1 or 2 points of those that were funded and those that unfortunately weren't, the private funds, the partnerships really probably did strongly come into play. And so the quick and long answer to that is yes. When you're looking at the PCI funded amount total of $500,000 and the total project cost, that is over $2 million. Just going down the list, I see some that have 190,000 of private funds in addition to what they asked for PCI. So I would say that the leverage and the match and the partnerships really had a huge kind of make it or break it factor, unfortunately, to use that cliche. Sorry, this is a longer question. I just want to make sure I read it fully.
The commenter is just making the point that there's an incredible magnitude and impact on what's been begun with these back-to-back challenges. I think referring to the Illinois Governor's Gigabit Communities Challenge and the Broadband Innovation Fund. And I agree wholeheartedly with this commenter that this is an incredible opportunity. As we are in touch with officials in other states, with counterparts who are involved in state broadband initiatives in other states, I mean, people are really eager to learn about these 2 back-to-back challenges, the Gigabit Communities and now the Innovation Fund. So we definitely want to follow your advice and maximize this momentum into a statewide vision, and that's what we're all about here at Broadband Illinois.
Thank you. Next question, what is the contingency plan for any leftover funds if a project isn't completed or under budget?
Yeah, if a project that is awarded is not able to satisfactorily complete their objectives, part of the agreements that we will have with them is that those funds will be available for another purpose. We don't have a specific contingency plan for where they would go, but they would not go to that entity that was not completing their project. I might just also add here to this questioner that keep in mind that the Broadband Innovation Fund of $500,000 was an amount from a larger award that PCI is the beneficiary of, and another portion of this fund is going to support the Better Broadband, Better Lifeline program in the event that receives FCC funding. So the 2 funds are part of the same purpose to help develop this program for broadband adoption usage throughout the state.
Next question. Okay, Tina, I'm calling you out. This is one of our awardees, and she's asking when they can announce the award. So you announce it. Uh-oh, she says, congratulations, please announce, have at it, free reign as to what you want to do. We appreciate those that had been selected as finalists. They did get an email from us later last week, but we just had to do some final due diligence. So I know they have been waiting anxiously. So it's all yours. Congratulations. The next one. Now I'm going to repeat exactly what the governor's office said to us on our Broadband Deployment Council call last Friday. And that was, do you know when the Gigabit Community Challenge grant winners will be announced? As a quote, October is a good month. So he said that laughing and smiling and said everyone should look forward to October. So that was the answer we had from the governor's office, and we will just pass that exact wording down to you guys. Next question. Some of you people, you're so nice. I think I would like to have you to my house for Thanksgiving, and I'm nice. Tell my husband that, please. So we appreciate it. We are saying we are nice. Thank you. Take credit for what you have initiated and these results. What is your infographic? You are our ambassadors. Don't be shy. We have to change perception about Illinois and innovation. I'm going to let Drew take that one.
Well, it speaks for itself. The real answer is that it's kind of like when you shake something and there's an incredible outpouring of interest and enthusiasm, and this program would not be a success were it not for the huge interest in engaging in these programs for broadband adoption usage. So we really appreciate the incredible outpouring of enthusiasm for this, and we're quite serious that we want this to be about all of the 113 applicants, because this is why we have E-teams throughout the state. This is why Brad Housewright and Clayton Black and Ernie Sanders and Barb Webster and Steve Mitchell are out there, is that they can assist you in taking your project or proposal to the next step.
Next question. But will the details of the approved funds be online tomorrow to view?
They'll be online today to view. The actual amounts awarded to each of the 14 will be online. We have to finish this webinar so we can get to it, but it will be online today to view those who are awarded today.
I'm just going to open it up for another few questions.
Any other questions?
Okay, I'm also going to turn this over to Drew to close out the webinar and have any final remarks.
So once again, we really appreciate the interest and enthusiasm. We had, there's 61 callers on the call right now, but we got as high as 91 or 92 earlier. We were a little concerned that our GoToWebinar only allows for 101 people. So we're glad we didn't hit that this time, but we may have to make contingency plans for the future. Again, thank you to everyone who participated in this challenge. We tried to make this not overburdensome, a 3,000 word application with the 11 questions that we put together, but still able to get at the core issues that we were looking for in economic development, innovation, experience, and cost benefit value for the state and for enabling broadband. And we really appreciate the interest everyone has shown. Another great thank you to Ann Madonia for her leadership in this initiative, and we go on to the next phase of this while we work with all of you and also the 14 award winners in taking better broadband and better lives to the next step here in Illinois. So thank you again for your interest and attention.